Welcome back, everyone. Going into the second half here. I don't know why I muted you guys. Of episode 83.
Hello, welcome back.
Let's just jump back into the fight. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jump back in, eh?
Yeah.
At the edge of this great and misty pit into the deep darkness of the void below, you tangle with Nameless, a once rejected son of a family of powerful sorcerer types who ran this city. He has decided that he does not want to be sacrificed, that he wants to live, and that to make that happen, y'all gotta go. So Kalimat, it is your turn. You see Berg wrestling this guy, hitting him with the hammer. The two of them are fighting, swords clashing, getting dragged towards the edge of the pit. What would you like to do?
God damn. It's a tough choice because I could possibly push both of them. Well,
yeah.
Nonetheless, I'm going to move over here next to Yoji. And as I'm running, I'm going to yell, Berg, is this what you want?
Yeah, Berg, you see like Berg's eyes like lock. Yours is just like, I'm assuming, is there any sort of like shit coming up for you? Said the pit's like way disturbed and
No.
like winds and stuff kicking, or is it just calm?
Yeah, there's wind howling around in the darkness. There's obviously a disturbing, like, the thing is still asleep, but it's having these like fever dreams of hunger. It can sense you're waving the sausages under its nose.
Yeah. Yeah, Berg yells back, "It is how it has to be, Kali!"
And I don't really.
Back.
And I
Hey,
don't.
what are you gonna do,
I don't say this. I just say it kind of under my breath. Very well. And I try and thunder wave them both in the pit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I think Berg's heavy enough that he might be able to drag him down into the pit. Cool. Go ahead and put it in there. All right. So the cube is the 3, 6, 9 in front of you.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So con saves for you both.
Is this where the music drops out and I Will Remember You starts playing? And everything goes slow motion.
Oh,
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
bad time to have a crit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He makes con save as well. I think you're probably both gonna. Oh nope.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look, Berg doesn't
All
want
right.
to die. Ever.
Okay. So Berg, he's torn from your grasp, right? Because he fails. He takes the damage. So roll 2d8 for the damage there.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I not get any
So
like?
the actual. That.
I feel like I can. I mean, I know I rolled a crit there on a con save, but like if I'm in character saying like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, Berg's instincts just kick in, and his desires are.
Well, so the con save is just physically like, yeah, I don't think you can choose. I mean, maybe you can choose to fail. Let me look at saving throws, because if you want to just have.
That's what I'm
fail-
saying. Is like.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
take
like,
a
we
look.
do some damage here, he gets freed, floats back, and is like, hee. Like,
You can choose to fail saves if you want.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. If you want to stay attached to him and fail the save and go out with him.
yeah, I'm trying to be an anchor.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. So you cling to him. The two of you are knocked backwards. You take the damage. So how many hit points do you have now?
Me?
Yeah.
0. How much did he roll?
You take 8 from the
8.
hit. 8 thunder.
Is that
But
just force,
you're
or is that half?
raging? So it's 4. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
half.
so I have 1.
You have 1. Okay. All right.
It's enough.
Okay. Ramus, what are you gonna do?
I go to the edge of the pit and I start shouting in, Maru Bavati, you have been asleep far too long. You and your kind made a bad deal, and it's time to undo it. I awaken you, Ramus the Burnt. I have come to serve you and your kind, to restore you. Heaven's gone greedy and fat on the backs of mortals for far too long. Awaken and take this sacrifice right above you.
This was the
Reach
other
out
thing
and
that you
grab it.
needed. Yeah, right? Because it's not just enough to like wave the food around. You have the sacrifice, but the ritual must be performed. So make a religion check. You like drop to your knees, like, and I think we see like flickering primordial flame like leap up from Ramus's hands. An aura of fire starts to like dance around his clothes. I think your like cloak like catches fire at the edges, and yeah, there is a deep rumbling from below, and obviously take inspiration. The Death Knight, nameless, he's holding you, Berg, and he says to you, he says, no, Berg, please, you have to understand. Hey, Ramus is right. Heaven is lying, but awakening the old ones won't do anything. You can't stop heaven. We have to hide. We have to turn them away. Don't give up so easily what you... And he's trying to push you away, so I'm going to use his action to like throw you aside. So he's going to roll. You can try to hang on to him.
I'm gonna hang on to him.
He's only got an 11. Yeah, so he's trying to like throw you aside. Do you want to resist, or do you want to let him?
No, resist.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It needs to be held
So
there.
you,
Otherwise, he's just gonna go away.
Yep. So you oppose. Okay. All right. And so he's like trying to get free. He can't move. You've got him pinned in place. The two of you are hanging over this pit, and yeah. And he says, "You've been lied to, Berg. Whatever else happens, you've been lied to. I can protect you. Death is an illusion, Berg." And that's when the big guy wakes up.
Ooh,
And
goddamn.
bursts up out of the pit. So there is a crash of like the loudest thunder. There is an enormous roar of sound. You're all deafened instantly as an enormous creature. You can't even like make it out. He's crawling up out of the hole, but his this like hungry jaws. His horns shatter the edges of the rim of the well, and he's trying to pull himself up out of this hole that's much too small for him. I need Berg and Nameless to make. They're gonna make saving throws, and I think that this is dex saves. So Berg, you have advantage because of danger sense, Berg.
Danger sense.
So make a death save. Go, boy! All right.
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
So Maru Bavati awakens, bursting up out of the void. His enormous clawed hands shattering the earth. Ramus, Yoji, and Kalimite, you get sent flying because this whole area is torn apart. His jaws snap shut, and Berg and Nameless disappear. And then we pan down and we see Berg clinging to the edge of the lip. Nameless is gone. Maru Bavati's pissed, and he's going to try and climb out of the hole and start wrecking shit. What do you want to do?
Let's scramble over to grab Berg and pull him up if I can.
I mean, you're all, he's gone. You go away. You're toast now.
You're
and
gone. Just go.
Berg is there. And, so you're all thrown aside. I guess we might as well just keep
Initiative up.
doing the thing. What is the initiative bonus of this ridiculous thing? He doesn't look like he's here to like attack anybody, but he's just growing. He's getting bigger and bigger.
Berg last second, like, I'm just kidding. I want to live. Just grabs the fucking.
Yeah, you have a second chance. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna add a new one. To
Fucking
order.
roll though. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 2-2.
Okay. So Maru, and he's got a 19. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Yoji, we're kind of in the middle of your turn. What would you like to do?
I think it immediately like pings in my mind that I have to right my wrong, so I go try save Berg this time instead of trying to kill him. So I'm running towards him.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
That's 30. Is that considered grabbing, or do I need to be on top of him? I guess it doesn't matter because about 30.
You can be next to him.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go over here and with my 10 strength, try to pull Berg out.
Okay, sure. So make an athletics check. Berg is helping, so you have advantage.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Berg's
Crit.
heavy, but no fucking problem.
I crit when needed.
All right, Berg.
Just like
so you're just
one-handed.
yeah, yank to your feet.
Yeah, and I literally just like look at you and say not today, and I like grab you by your back and start running.
Okay, so you're done with your turn, Berg. It's your turn.
Yeah, no, I keep running. Keep running away as fast as possible.
Where do you go? Just run off into the darkness?
Yeah, from the way we came,
right.
from whence we came.
Okay.
Double
Just
move,
away.
which would
All right.
be. I can do that, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you just run off into the dark. Okay. Kalima, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get up, look at, see that Berg is all right and already running away, and I'm just gonna stand there and view this splendor, this glory,
Okay. All right.
because I have no idea where to go. Like I saw the doors close behind me, and this is it. This is where I belong.
Okay. All right. So Maru Bavati gets to go, and on his turn, he just gets running out of map space. He just gets bigger. And so Yoji, you get shoved back as he expands, as he grows. You get pushed back away from him. And he sweeps his horns, and you like duck out of the way, and he looks his big glassy black eyes like sweep over Kalimat and Ramus, and in your mind, and this is simultaneously in your mind, Kalimat, you hear a voice deep and rumbling that says, "You bear the tooth of my sister." And you, and then you hear in your head, Ramus, "The flames of Imix. I will spare you in their honor. But this one," and he like sweeps his head down towards Yoji. And Yoji, what do you do? What do you do?
I mean, Yoji's not a bitch. He stands there. He accepts his fate.
Oh God!
He waits to see what he
All right,
says. He looks him straight in the eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Maru Bavati looks at you, and it's like looking at like a blue whale, right, covered
Yeah.
in spikes. As he's expanding, is like you can feel his power like washing over him. And he looks down at you and he snorts, and flame leaps from his nostrils, and hot air blows over you. And he looks down at you, and you hear in your mind, "Humans, you've grown brave while I slumbered. I will deal with your insolence in time. But first, this loathsome city." And his back erupts out of the ground. Right, he's literally the mountain. So you all kind of like get knocked down as he erupts, and we cut out to the mountain itself, and we see essentially like an explosion, like an eruption of a volcano, as a big chunk of the side of the mountain that the city of Brass is on, of Maru Bavati, bursts open, and smoke and fire and lava starts pouring down the side of the hill. And it fades out on all of you, and I think that we fade back in on the four of you awakening, probably like in the streets of the temple plaza, right next to this massive explosion. Right, like the city is coming apart. There's an earthquake. There's volcanoes like erupting. The streets are cracking apart. Black smoke is pouring from holes in the ground. And yeah, Maru Bavati, the mountain that walks, is waking up, ready to shake off the Farang and finish the job the tower started. So you're all kind of like groggily coming to. You look around, you can see each other kind of like waking up. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get out of here? What's the plan?
Man, I'm not there. Berg's he's in the desert. He's just fucking running.
He's already in the hermit, man.
It's just Berg running.
Just flying off into space. Yep. Okay.
No, I think if we're all there together, Berg's just like.
Holly, Ramus, yo.
Fly,
Looking
you
around.
fools. We need to leave.
Okay. So you're just gonna run for it? Like Yoji, you know the ways of the city. You know how to like get from one place to another.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like get everyone standing up and then say like I point to a direction and just start going that way.
Okay.
There's nowhere that's safe, right? Like Yoji would understand that. He needs to get out.
I mean, make us if that's the first thing you think, right? You get up and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So make a survival check. Yeah.
10.
Okay. Yeah, shit's fucked. You don't know, but it's
Yeah.
just shit's
I mean,
going
I
real
just
bad.
saw the fucking great dragon god. Yes.
Yeah.
A little bewildered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know the quickest way out of the city. So that's where we go.
Yeah. So do you want to just try to get to the desert as fast as you can?
Would I know where like secret portals are to get out of this area completely?
Probably not. No.
Okay. Then yeah, to the
Yeah.
desert.
Okay. All right. So it's just like, let's get away from the city because you're up top of the mountain and the mountain is like erupting. You're on a volcano and it's like time to get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah. We're going straight to the desert.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Kalimat, what are you doing? You see the desolation around you. I think you watch as like the tower itself like tips and falls into a widening chasm of lava. And like one last bolt of lightning strikes it, and its black stones are shattered and thrown across the street as Maru Bavati kind of like shakes off the city. So are you still like wrapped in awe, or do you join your friends?
Yeah, until someone like breaks me out of it, I'm kind of just in a trance watching this. And if you could hear inside Kalimat's mind, you would hear him saying like, "Don't turn away. Look at this. This is what you've done. This is something that like tell the story. Never forget." That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like by far the most significant thing you've witnessed, and that's saying like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For sure. So yeah, I'm just
okay,
like kind of.
So Ramus Berg and Yoji, you notice Kalimat is just like staring at the
He's not
the
moving.
horrific scene.
Yeah, if I wander off 10, 20 feet and he's still there, I'd definitely run back and like grab him and say like, we're leaving, come on. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Berg would be the same.
Kali, let's move now.
Yes, of course. And then I start running with him.
Okay. All right. Okay. So everybody take off into the city, and I think that we get the kind of like the sequence of like this is a disaster happening where we see buildings being shorn in half. We see the last sort of remnants of the people that are still in the city suffering under this terrible cataclysm that's occurring. Rivers of lava flowing where once streets of the beautiful city of Brass remained, and Yeah, just people being like incinerated alive. A terrible like dust storm picks up, and I think the last thing that we see is the Farang's like golden pyramid cracking and crumbling as the remaining Farang attempt to open a like a portal to escape. They try to get away to wherever they came from. Some of them make it, some of them don't. And at last we see their pyramid crumble as the mountain itself falls. It falls inward as Maru Bavati comes to his full size, his like Mount Everest size, and throws off the shell that has built up around him over millennia, and the city crumbles and falls, chunks of rock thrown into the desert. There's going to be like a big deep hole, like a chasm with rock strewn all around it here for the next like several thousand years where the city used to be. And then Maru Bavati drags itself away out into the desert to find its next meal, having awoken and destroyed the city that was built on its back. And so we fade from that scene to night. There's a scene at night. There's a weird hybrid moon sun thing has faded, and now like true night has settled in. We can see the stars in heaven, and a chill has fallen over the desert. And as we pan down from the starry sky, we see a camp. We see like a fire burning, and as we get closer, we can see Yoji and Ramus, Berg, and Kalimat. You've escaped the city and managed to make it out alive. What is like you've gone as far as you could before you became exhausted and had to set up camp. Let's have a scene there, a sort of like post scene. So what are you gonna do? What's everybody doing when we fade in on that scene?
I think the fire is Ramus's tabard of the tower, and his medallions of the tower, and everything is melting away, and his holy book of the arcana is melting in the fire as he's casting away the old religion and giving himself to the flame.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we see Ramus staring, and we see the tabard of the tower flickering and burning up. Yoji, what are you doing when we see you and pan over to you?
I think I'm standing on the perimeter / edge of the camp, and just kind of like looking off into the darkness while like my fingers are running over the quills of the arrow, and I'm speaking in not celestial, in infernal, and just saying like, "You almost got me to use this, you son of a bitch!" Like,
right?
Basically saying
Like,
that
I'm
like that was all
saving
set
it
up
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So you're like, yeah, that happened, but I've got more shit to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kalimat, what about you?
I think you see Kalimat like watch Ramus throw the tabard into the fire, and he's sitting there, and he takes out he has his charcoal and parchment right there, and he's sketching a picture of Maru Bavati, and every once in a while he'll take out his are they called tarot cards? What are they called? Just
Yeah.
Okay. Take out his tarot cards and shuffle them and practices tricks and stuff. And then you see like him start just like, like throwing cards into a hat. Like following Ramus's suit, and just like
Flicking them into the fire.
after the other, just throwing them into the fire. And all the while he's doing that, he's humming a tune that he's trying to come up with.
Okay. And then Berg, what do we see when we pan over to you?
Berg's sitting there with like his hands on his hammer, staring up into the sky, like in the stars, just recapping what happened and pondering. His mind flashes to the Negaberg, and like just thinking like what's next, and pretty much aligning himself with like the stars. Like he's like, it's like I'm
Yeah.
here of heaven
Well, and
now.
that's-
So
I
he's
think
kind of
that's-
looking to the sky for answers.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Is that we see Berg, we get the slow pan up across like Berg's shoulders, and we come around, you get all the stars in the background, and you're holding the hammer, and we see a single bright star, like the star, right, flickering behind you, and then the scene fades out, and we fade back in on the chasm, the kind of hole where the creature where Maru Bavati raised itself up out of the hole of where the city was, and we're kind of like following the camera down into this massive chasm, and we see a group of scavengers down amidst the fire. They're dressed like in probably just in rags, and we see them sort of picking through the garbage, and one of them we see picking through like there's a dead body, and she's like, we see her hands like turn them over, like pull a bag of coins and throw them aside, and she's like looking with all these other scavengers, and then we see her look up when we see the star kind of sparkling. She looks up at it, and yeah, it's Maud, but her eyes are this like glowing green, and she has like sickly black veins kind of glowing under her skin. She just looks up and like hisses at the star, and then looks down and goes back to picking through the garbage, and we fade out on that. So let's hand out some experience points, because everybody did a lot of goals, and then I don't know, we can talk about like maybe what you guys want to do for the next arc, or how you're thinking. Take a little bit of like download time. I don't know how much JP you want to do in the posture, or how much you want to do here, but
Sure.
we got a little bit of time to kind of like clean out the arc.
Yeah.
So let's do XP. Let me get my calculator here.
Even with me trying to kill Berg so many times.
Hey
Still
man,
alive.
I crit when I need to. That 20 was super clutch.
That fucking danger. It's so poetic too that it comes back to danger sense.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that.
Or the dex roll, so I'm clinging to life.
Yeah. Yeah. It dawned on me in the break that the reason, at least the way I interpreted, the reason why Nameless looked at me was because he thought that I was the only one that could like call upon the old god or something. Because that was what I was gonna do on my turn, but Dan beat me to it, which is perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
I was like, yep, we gotta figure out some way to figure how to summon him.
Okay, so Berg, you're level 9 right now?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's see. What were your goals were? Find out what happened to my body, which will remain a mystery to Berg. But you did survive the battle with the Farang, and you awakened Maru Bavati. So good on that. So that's, let's see. That's 6,400 experience. 6,400 for you. Okay.
Hold up.
Nice.
10 over. 10
Okay.
XP over.
Yeah, Dan hit 10 after that first fight, by the way, for everyone watching.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So Ramus, you're at 10 now. Actually, that's something we can do. So I think your actions today qualify. If you want to, we can talk about how mechanically this will work. But I think you've devoted yourself to a new power.
Mhm.
So that's, let's see, level 10. 2 of those, and then you awakened Maru Bavati, which is another one of those. And then still working on the soul issue. You're still a soulless mess. 7,600 for you. Okay. Polymat, you did all of yours. Yours you've been working on for a while. One of them, at least one of them, was deadly. So what level are you? You're 8?
Yep. I killed the prison
Okay,
from the
so
Ubiet. I saved the city by destroying it, and I found out what happened to the immortals and what they were doing there.
Yep. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you completed all of your goals, and they were all like quite significant. So 11,200 experience.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Dang, boy.
11,200.
Did you get 10 or 9?
Yeah.
Nine's 48,000.
Yeah, 11K. And then, so Yoji, you got all 3 of yours. What level are you? Same thing? Level 8?
Same 8, yeah.
Okay, so yours are all the same difficulty. You get 8,400.
Okay.
8,400. Cool. Cool. Here we go. All right. So yeah. Good stuff. So I think I wanna just talk like Dan. So this becoming a priest of the flame. I know you and I talked a little bit about this before. We could put together like a custom, because it's not quite, it's not the forge aspect that you worship. It's like the fire. So we could come up with some kind of like custom thing, or you could become a druid if you want. If you just want to like respec and just be a druid, that's okay too. Like we can kind of figure. I want the characters to feel flexible, so you can be like, instead of just like you have to stay a cleric forever, like you can change and mix it up. So we can talk, if you want to stay a cleric, we can custom build something for you. But yeah, we can talk about that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was liking the idea of staying as a cleric, but like my domain spells all deal with fire in some way, like some sort of burning or fire a component of them.
Yeah. I dig it. Okay, cool. So we can build like a custom domain thing for you and look at what that might look like. Yeah. Okay. Dope. Yeah, that sounds good. Same thing too. Like if other people want to change stuff about their class or whatever, like it's fairly flexible, especially in between arcs. And then we just got to figure out kind of what we want to do for the next bit. I think if we stay with these 4 characters, we could just do a jump and be like, you're somewhere else doing something, right? Like we could just jump to some other place, or we could just pick up and be like, you're traveling through the desert. But I kind of like the idea of being like, a year later, and you've all kind of settled into new roles and you're on a different quest. But also, if anybody feels like setting their character aside for a little bit and wants to play something else, you're welcome to do so. But for me, there's like the stuff that's sort of extended out from here would be like finishing up with Imix, right? Like telling him about his captured kid and like get the fire god up and go. I mean, if you just want to go around waking up elder gods, that could be your new jam.
The God Wakers.
Apocalypse team, right? So that's an option, right? Like Maru Bavati was the first. You also have the dagger, which means you could go back to the jungle and try to find the night serpent and like deal with that. We could start doing that kind of thing. Also, if you want to go to heaven and mess that shit up directly, there is that lead that goes back to the Court of Swords. So that's a thing that you could do. Obviously, we don't have to decide right now, but what kind of stuff are you guys feeling for like a future arc? We don't have to make any decisions, but I'm just curious kind of what everybody's thoughts are.
Yeah. I think I'm personally okay with just like literally picking up right where we're at in the desert and going from there. I'm not against like a time skip, but yeah, I think for me personally, it makes sense. Time skips in other RPGs. In D&D, it's kind of weird because it's like your character didn't advance for a year.
Yeah, when I say a time
odd,
skip,
yeah.
I don't really mean like like a bunch of time passes where things happened. It was really more like
Just nothing happened.
we clear the board. So it's like, because if you're in the desert, then it would be like traveling through the desert, trying to get somewhere. So if you're interested in the journey between here and wherever you go, that's fine. But we could also do like a get out of the desert skip and be like, so you followed the leads to wherever, and we pick up somewhere else.
That's true.
'Cause there's lots of world. It's just a question of whether we're interested in traveling to it or saying like, so then you left the desert and you walked and you went to the place. Yeah. So it's just
we've
an
kind of
opportunity
done
for that,
the.
if that's something we're interested
We have kind of done the desert journey, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm interested to hear everyone else. Zeke, Max, Dan, if you guys want to chime in.
For Calumet personally, I would love, like, the only thing on his mind right now is to explore the idea that like of my culture and of my history and of the dragons and that kind of thing, and see if there's, because you said something about like there's a deal that the dragons made back in the old times, and I would love to see what that was all about. I'd love to like pick Yoji's brain a little bit further about what he knows about that,
Right.
and see if there's a way to like, maybe I'll become a dragon. Maybe I want to become a dragon, like a full-fledged dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely
If I
think
can.
the past like 4 or 5 episodes, Yoji definitely has ideas for things to propose to Kali. One of those was kind of the goal last episode, but it just didn't make sense to bring it into the forefront now. So that could definitely be something that occurs for sure.
How about we encounter his baby mama, and she's like, "You got to take care of your kid. What the fuck have you been doing in that city?"
Yeah, then we make a sitcom, 4 dudes and a baby.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a little spin-off show.
It'd be great. Totally original. Yeah. Dan or Max, where do you guys kind of want to take it? Or do you have any interest in where we go?
Berg's kind of in this new. I mean, it's a new chapter for Berg, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's interesting enough to keep doing stuff with him. That's my thing. Is if people are still interested in hearing the tale of Berg and what's going on going forward, I'm willing to play him. Obviously, also if you guys decide to do something different, you want to like try to do something different. I'm totally fine doing that too. I'm not averse to making new characters and doing different stuff. I like doing that. So
Yeah. I think me and Zeke are
I'm
pretty,
pretty flexible.
me and Zeke are pretty dead set on continuing our characters.
Yeah, I'm liking the fact that
Well, I could go either way. If the consensus is, I get the feeling that we want to roll up new stuff for a new thing.
Yeah.
I'm down with whatever, man. I'm just here
It's
to play,
still-
dude. I love it.
Sure.
I like that all this shit's going down, and that specifically Kalimat's like, fuck yeah, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. Like, obviously, Berg's been a main narrative character, but I like that there's some really cool shit going on with everybody else, and it's not just like, you know, all Berg. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
that's
And
fun for a bit,
and
but
that's a thing, right? Where we've had this kind of like focus on Berg for a while, and that can be like a lot of, I mean, it can be pressure on Max, but also Max, like if you're interested in playing like a different type of character, we could just be like, yeah, Berg goes off to find a monastery and do some soul searching, and you can bring him back, right? When you're like, cool, I'm
Yeah.
ready to play Berg again. That's
Yeah.
certainly an option.
I think I'm going to think on that one and whether or not I want to just keep doing Berg right now or table him for
Yeah.
a second and then come back, because I know people are still interested. There's, you know, I think he's a neat character, and obviously he has all this history and stuff behind him.
Yeah.
But if we find a way that works and you guys are still playing the character and, you know, I bring Berg back, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm totally fine still playing Berg though. So for anybody that's like, don't get rid of him, no, Max, like he's not going.
The thing that does make the most sense to me is Ramus.
Yeah,
Is
Ramus
first
is
and
the
foremost.
most like
Yeah, he's
time
gonna die
sensitive.
soon.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I would take a break from Ramus, and Ramus goes off on his own to do a quest for the primordials to get a soul or a replacement soul from them, so that he can keep living and serve them. And like he's off doing something to get a soul, doing that by himself, and someone else is with this group helping you guys along.
We can do that, or alternatively, we can like time skip, unless you really want to play a different character for a little while, which makes sense.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I think that would work.
Listen, we all know Ramus is the chosen undead, and he's got to go to Lord Dren for a little while, and when he's done with that, he can come back. But for right now, he's just getting all wizened and hollowed out over here. So
I have to rekindle the flame, all right?
you do, yeah. Like it's pretty much you somehow just ended up being a Dark Souls character. So
The more that I think about it, I kind of feel like all of us, except for maybe Berg, have like our own personal quests. So maybe like a time skip of us working together on that, and then somehow ending up, I don't know, however Adam wants to spin that, like being back together as a group, in some fashion would maybe make sense. But
yeah, I mean, we could do, and I'm loath to guess how long things would take, but we could always do like several short things where we're like, all right, and now the story of when everybody went to help Ramus with his thing, and now the story of when everyone went to do Kalimat's thing, and now and just do like 4 kind of like smaller things where you either play as your own characters or like the next thing doesn't have to be we're going to play for 40
That's true.
episodes with this exact premise. We could actively try to be like, okay, I'm actually just going to try to set it so that we do one thing, we resolve one thing, and we keep it from getting too complicated, and just do sort of little mini series, and then tie all that stuff back together to be like, okay, cool. Well, we've done everybody's side quest, and now we can continue.
Yeah, I'm all right
I
with
think
that.
that'd be cool too because we have a lot of like little side quests that we've been like we'll get to it, and now we can like get to it, and we can have these focused in little arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that for sure.
The tale of Sir not appearing in this film. Okay.
So what episode is this of Court of Swords?
83.
83.
Yeah.
So this arc took
33.
how many episodes?
33 episodes.
33.
Almost
Because we started at
33.
50,
almost
right?
almost the whole show, or almost half
Wow.
the show so far. 33 out of total 85. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big season. We
Did it,
got a
though.
lot of
we
stuff.
did it. I know a lot of people thought we would never leave that city.
That's true. We were in it for a while. Yeah. Yeah. Did Vampan get out alive? Is she still out there?
Yeah, the Empire has a special ticket to heaven, so she's occupado in there.
Okay. All right.
Still, heaven's still doing its politics.
She's just
There's
turned
probably like
she's turned into a bat
after-
and flew to heaven.
the after credit scene would probably just be like we roll all the credits on the season, and then it's like a bunch of gods like standing around looking at a scrying pool, watching all this stuff happen, and one of them just looking up like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
That was 2 days from retirement.
Heaven, while they were all bickering, some idiot PCs woke up one of the elder gods who's like, hey, I'm going to go wander around the desert and wreck things.
Yeah. I do like the comment in chat, 80 episodes down and 2 courts destroyed with 2 more to go.
I mean, the Court of Swords isn't destroyed so much as being occupied by an undead force, but it's fine. It's
Right.
fine.
I just like that all of us were just like,
Yeah.
none of us wants to go to Court of Swords. We're gonna.
Yeah, so we're gonna go dry up the court of cups, and we're gonna go knock down the court of coins, and it's fine.
Which one of those
that's-
is nautical, like sea based?
That's the cups.
The cups?
Yeah,
Okay.
Cups is it's an archipelago. I mean, that's sort of what the go around waking up the old gods, like servants of the old gods arc would be like, because these courts didn't exist when those gods are around. So when they wake up, they might be like, your pathetic human kingdoms. I
Right.
step on them.
Yeah, I think some of I think Yoji's like clued into that. That's why I necessarily wasn't against it. So
Yeah.
it would I'm fine with continuing and kind of doing like that mini arc stuff to wrap up. Like I think I
Yeah,
agree with
so
Zeke. Like
it would just
Ramus needs a soul, right? Like that has to happen whether he goes out on his own or we help him, etc.
So that would be the thing, right? We would decide what everybody kind of wants to do as their thing, and then we pick one to do first, and then we do that one, and then we decide what the next one is. So if like rekindle Ramus, then I can decide where that would happen, and we could just cut to that and be like, so you're tracking down members of Imix's cult so that you can like induct Ramus, and Ramus can do the service for them to like rekindle his soul or whatever. Yeah, I can figure that out.
Yeah.
And I'd also like it if like we could choose to go with him or go with each side story as our character as
Yes.
a
Oh,
new
of course.
character.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
that'd be
would
awesome.
I would think about it and be like, okay, so this is going to be the arc about like rekindling Ramus. Ramus is sort of the MC of this arc. Who's present for that? Is this like Yoji and Kalimat and a new character? Is this Berg and Yoji and a new character? Is it 3 new characters? Like whatever you guys want to do.
Love it.
That's definitely the thing. And then you could be like, for the next arc, it's Yoji, but Kalimat would have definitely gone with Yoji, and they could be happening at the same time. So if there are 2 characters that aren't present, maybe they're together somewhere else,
Yeah.
following that side story.
I would love to try out a new character during one of the other arcs. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way we get to keep some of the characters. So you're out in the desert. We get this last shot of everyone being like, okay, let's go, and then we see who we follow next. Yeah.
I'm into it. We should go down that path.
Sick.
And
I
whenever
think
that is,
Yoji and
2
Callie
weeks.
are going to be even closer than Sally Hoffa and Callie ever were.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're being invited to the group. There's a reason I want to talk to you about that dagger.
Yeah.
That was kind of the plan all along. So
And that sister comment. I mean, I know we're not in the Patreon wrap up video, but that sister comment, like you carry the tooth of my sister. I'm just like,
yeah. So like, I mean, I guess that's the good division, right? Is that we can. So I've got some base ideas about what I need you guys to think about. You think about what you want your personal quest things to be. I'll build the arc around that, and then we'll do it, and you can decide what characters you want to play. And then for today's like post show for Patreon, we can talk about like this episode and like the stuff that actually happened during the episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sweet. I'm excited. Cool.
All right. Well, let's
Sorg.
do some shout outs then. We'll go do that Patreon video.
Sounds good.
Zeke, you want to start us off?
You betcha. Goddamn, man. This is one of those rare times where it takes me back to when I first started role playing, and it felt so heavy and real and consequential and that kind of shit. And that's this, like, every episode is great. Well, there's every once in a while you get the super good episode where everything matters, and goddamn, I love that feeling. That's why I do it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all either at or / Ezekiel_III. I want to thank Max, Dan, and JP for being wonderful, wonderful campaign mates, and also the biggest, wettest, sloppiest kiss to my man Adam Coble for creating this adventure and allowing me to be a part of it, but more so allowing me to feel that feeling again. See you for Drop Frames tomorrow. That's all I got.
Cool.
Or Wednesday. Fuck, it's not Tuesday.
It's
I know
not
every
Tuesday,
time's
yeah.
all wobbly.
Man, we got it. I have a day to play video games tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's great. I don't
Me
have to
too.
do a
I know,
fucking
weird.
dumb show. Dan, do
I'll
some-
play RimWorld. I'll be playing RimWorld tomorrow if you guys want to watch.
Nice. How am I doing in RimWorld, by the way? Am I still pretty
You're
good?
still saving Ko's ass every time he passes out.
Good. Glad to hear it. Dan, do some shout outs for us.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, variety streamer on Twitch. Stuff's easy to find right on the left there. This was an amazing episode. It's great to see like us accomplish something big after months of work, instead of just helping bandits at a little village. We did something massive that affects the entire world, which feels awesome. And I can't wait to continue our characters and do the mini arcs, which sound really fun. So I can't wait until next week or the week whenever we do the next show.
Yeah, I'll look at the calendar here in a second and be able to figure that out.
Say next week.
Yeah, it might be next. Maybe it's next week. I don't know. Berg, do some shout outs. I'll look at the calendar. I forget.
Hi, GassyMexican. No complaints this episode. No, it's really, really cool that we've accomplished what we did. We've been here for so long. I hope you guys have just enjoyed the journey. That's my thing. I hope you guys are enjoyed the all the stuff that happened and are happy with the outcome. And yeah, now moving on forward, stoked to see what other adventures we get into and what characters or other characters we play that are not like the main 4 that we've been playing. Either way, I think it'll be cool. I want to give a quick shout out to my barbarian clan. Rest in peace. You're probably all dead. We'll talk about it. That I guess maybe and other little details of things in the City of Brass in the post show. But thanks to my castmates and of course to Adam for running this whole thing. And even though I was like, what the fuck in that last encounter, it was cool. It was narratively cool, and it'll be fun to talk about. I might be streaming I will be streaming a little bit later on. So follow me on Twitter if you want to. All my other shit's there. I do YouTube. I do Twitch, Variety Caster. Yeah, just look out on Twitter for what I'm going to be playing. I'll be doing something later on. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Awesome stuff. Adam, do some shout outs of your own.
Cool. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Dodger's friend. You might recognize me from such shows as Critical Role, where I'm played by Alison Jaffe. Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been the end of the City of Brass arc, which, if you watched my GM prep so very many months ago, you'll remember me saying, yeah, I think this will probably take about 8 hours. So it's good. It's good that happened. You can find me on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I do GM prep and I play video games and what have you. You're going to see me again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Hyper RPG, doing a Banner Saga tabletop RPG thing. So I hope you'll tune in for that and that you'll come back when we return for more Court of Swords. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Cool. Are we doing a show next Tuesday? Is that when we're starting, or is there still some conflicts?
Next week is Gen Con.
Next week is Gen Con, not
gone.
this week. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Gen Con. I'm going to Gen Con on Tuesday, but then my Tuesdays are like goofed up, but we'll figure it out. We've got some time. We have at least a week of no show while Gen Con is happening to like figure. I need time to prep. I need to make it basically a brand new campaign. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys know whenever we're going to be playing. It definitely won't be next Tuesday, which is usually when we play. Is Tuesdays at 6 o'clock Eastern. So there might be an off day. And then on the Tuesday after that, I'll be doing it. I'm going to do a 24-hour stream, so I definitely won't be here. And then we'll just have to figure it out. So we'll let you guys know as soon as we know when we're doing the next show. So look forward to that. That's it, though. We're going to go do that post-show, probably talk about a little bit more spoilery stuff and kind of our thoughts on the episode in terms of the roles and whatnot. So if you want to watch that, it's patreon.com/roleplay. But if not, we'll see you guys on the next Court of Swords. Thanks everyone so much for watching. We're out. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody.